manifestation rampage video. I wanted to do a video on this topic because I have been seeing a lot of similar themes and struggles and complexities that people have been going through. And I want to submit a possibility, okay, to people who are trying to manifest something pretty major, or maybe it could be something that is a lifestyle change, right? Could be something not as major, right? And here is something that I think that people are not really realizing, okay, is that they keep putting themselves last. There's a lot of blockages, okay, as to why something has not happened for you, or what the situation around why something is not exactly the way that you have planned. And I think what a lot of people can take into account is that if you're putting yourself at the top of your list, and every single day you're getting up and you're putting forth effort and you're paying attention to your routine and to your daily thoughts and to what is a priority to you, okay? The biggest thing is, what is a priority for you? Because whatever you prioritize, you will invest your energy into, you will focus upon, it will come quicker. Just this week I was planning something, and I've been, putting, I would say like 10x energy, into certain projects and certain things in my life. And I noticed the more that I focus on what is important to me, and the more that I focus on like what I have to get done, things come so much quicker. And I noticed that the universe, if there is obstacles or if there is delays, I noticed that the universe will quickly shift things around, okay, around what my focus is going to, what my energy is going to. So whatever you focus upon, okay, whatever you invest in, whatever you focus upon with your energy is what is going to come to you the quickest. Okay, so if your energy is about what people think about you, if your energy is filled with toxic people or toxic relatives or negative Nancys that want to, question and doubt every single thing that you're doing, then you're gonna have it's gonna come in. It's still gonna come in, right? Well, hopefully, but it's gonna keep getting slowed down. Okay, it's going to keep getting rerouted. It's going to keep buffering. So the more energy you put into what do I want, right? How do I want my day to look like? What is the goal? I know because of the pandemic and we have this election season coming up in all these different countries, especially in America, and all this drama, people are like, oh, I don't have a 5-year plan. I don't have a 3-year plan anymore. I just get up and, okay, that may or may not work. You see what I'm saying? Like, that kind of mentality may or may not work. But guess what? I still have a 5-year plan. I still have the mentality of planning for things up to 40 years old. Like in my life, I have already mentally planned how my life is supposed to be to some degree, and like my routine and my goals and certain like things I want to manifest by 40 that are on my radar. Okay. And that's not for everybody, but guess what? If you plan and, you execute that plan and you have realistic goals, realistic short-term goals, realistic long-term ideas of what you want to do in your life, then it's going to come to you a lot quicker. And what I find in researching patterns of behavior, and what I have identified with a lot of people on social media, etc., is that they put themselves last. They put themselves at the bottom of their list. So when they wake up, they're concerned about everything else and everybody else, but there is no prioritization into their own dreams, their own destiny, their own career goals, their own financial goals. Like, if you keep putting off what you want to get started on, let's say, for example, you want to be a doctor. Okay, let's say, for example, you want to be a doctor, but, you know, when you could be reading books or researching different, you know, doctorate programs, you know, you're choosing to binge eat, or you're choosing to keep going out to parties, but, you know, you've not put any kind of real time and attention into what you want to make a year. What kind of doctor do you want to be? You see what I'm saying? Like, you've not really put any stock into, well, how is this going to happen? Because depending upon the goal that you have, or the goals, plural, that you have, certain dreams and ideas are gonna take a lot longer to manifest. So let's say, for example, even if you get started today, like, even if you just hypothetically, you know, you are gonna make it happen, you're gonna start working on it today. Well, guess what? Like, let's say, for example, you want to be a doctor, okay? To actually become that doctor, that may take you a couple years, a couple months, right? So depending upon, seriously, guys, depending upon how complex that manifestation goal, that dream, that idea, that financial goal, depending upon how intense and how complex it is, the more you put it off, the more that you are getting distracted by other people pulling at your energy, right? And making plans for you that you're not making for yourself. You're getting basically delayed. So when people experience blockages or stagnancy or disappointment, it's not always that they've done something wrong necessarily, okay? A lot of times it could just simply be that you have not begun to work upon it. So if you've not put any actual, you know, like, value, productivity, time, and focus, above all focus, into this project or this idea, then how exactly do you think it's going to manifest? You see what I'm saying? How do you expect something to come out of thin air, but you've put no actual effort into it? It's like someone saying, I want to win the lottery. I want to win the lottery. But they don't ever go to a gas station, or they never go to a store. They never go to they never buy a ticket. They never actually put pen to paper and go buy a ticket, or buy a scratch off, or enter their name into a contest, right? So people have to stop, I think, fooling themselves, right? People have to stop lying to themselves. If they're, you know, back to the example of the lottery, okay? If you say that you want to win the lottery, but you've never bought a ticket, okay, and every single time you could have had the time to buy a ticket, but you don't fine tune your energy, you don't meditate, you don't buy a ticket, then how exactly do you expect to actually win the lottery? Okay, so a lot of people, what they do is they let these little ticky-tacky things distract them, right? Let's say, for example, bills. Everybody has bills to pay. Everybody has bills to pay. So when you are paying for your bills, that is not going to go away, right? You know, most bills, unless it's like a one-time thing, they're not going to go away. It is not going to go away. You're always going to have some kind of bill. So instead of getting hung up on it and saying, okay, and being rebellious about it, why don't you try to carve out your time, carve out your money to pay for your bills in advance? Put your money aside and pay for your bills in advance. Or if you have a car payment, right? Try to pay off your car in advance. Try to pay off your car in advance, okay? Because it's not going to go anywhere. So I think that the issue that a lot of people have is they're majoring on their minor. A lot of things that they're majoring on is minor issues, is things that are not necessarily going to go away unless you put a lot of energy into it. Okay, so unless you're putting a lot of energy into something, you can't expect it to just be, you know, abracadabra, magic abracadabra, it's gone. Like, that's not realistic. Okay, this person's car light's really bright, so I'm gonna repark and talk over here, because this person already got their groceries, but they're in their car blasting the light in my face, and it's like, honey, please. I am not trying to drive and be on the phone, so I parked instead, right? So long story short, right? Long story short, if you don't like something and you are, every now and then, you're going to your vision board or whatever the case may be, you got something going on, but you've not actually invested, a good amount of time into that exact thing, then how do you expect it to come to you quicker? Because like I said, the more energy and momentum you put on something is the easier it will be. So like, if you kind of like, shut off all the noise and all the distractions and all your social media notifications and all this stuff, like if you just get really serious, right? And just drill into your own time and drill into your own goals and your dreams, I guarantee you that it will manifest quicker. When I was doing my YouTube channel, there was, there was not a spare hour, not a spare day, not a spare second that I was not on here uploading for you guys. Like I started this channel July of 2017. You know what I'm saying? I remember it's clear as day when I started to really like upload full-fledged, and it took on a life of its own. Why? Because I put a lot of momentum and energy and effort into making this, making this happen. So the success I've gained and I have has not been because of laziness. It's because this is something that I genuinely enjoy and love doing. And the reason why it's paid off for me is because the energy behind it is genuine. So you can't be distracted. That's the bottom line, okay? You cannot be distracted. And depending upon the goals that you have, it may require, a lot more energy, right? If you don't like something or you want to change something in your life, I'm going to be the first one to tell you it's going to require a lot of energy. And some people, they could talk a big game, but when it comes to like actually doing the work and applying yourself, a lot of people, what happens is they get shocked. They get spooked. They get scared because in their head, it seems so easy, right? In their mind, their imagination, it came across as so easy. But guess what? In this 3D reality, in this 3D realm, guess what? There may be blocks every now and then. There may be challenges. There may be detours. There may be some days where you don't feel good, where you get sick, or maybe somebody you love gets sick, or, you don't know. You can't predict that. You can't control that. You see what I'm saying? You can't control the ins and outs of how life is. Life is not always going to be perfect. So when you keep that in mind and you live according to, not being hard on yourself and giving yourself grace and being kind to yourself, then you will definitely wake up and you'll realize that, oh my God, like you will come to find out like, oh my God, this is actually a lot. And so that's why I'm encouraging you guys to get started today, okay? Whatever it is, whatever category it is, you gotta get started as soon as possible, because the more you put it off and the more you put yourself last and the more you put your dreams and your goals and, your ideal life last, the slower it's gonna come into fruition. But if you're working on something every day and you refuse to give up and you refuse to give in, guess what? The universal law, right? The universal law states that it has to come to you, right? In some way, shape, or form, whether big, small, or medium, it has to manifest, it has to come to you. But you have to take that leap of faith first. You got to step out in faith first. If you're just gonna expect things to just kind of come to you and you not actually put forth any kind of good energy or any kind of effort, then respectfully, you're kind of you're kind of fooling yourself, even if you are this whole term I've been hearing about being a lazy manifester. Okay, but if you're putting effort into something, so it's not really how I would depict it. And is that you have to be real with yourself, okay? You kind of have to ask yourself, like, how bad do you actually want it? Like, what are you willing to actually do to have this come into your life? Because to me, you can manifest something with ease if you have done what you're supposed to do. And if you're actually aligning with your manifestation. But if you're not even aligning, you're not even focused on, and you're not even able to apply yourself what's necessary, then, you can't really say, oh, this doesn't work. You can't really go on and say, oh, this doesn't work, and oh, this is fake, and oh, this is a farce, but you've not worked it. You've not worked the universal law. You've not worked the law of attraction. You've not actually manifested anything. Why? Because you're not prioritizing your manifestation. So whether you want to manifest, let's say with effort, or you want to be a lazy manifestor, whatever the heck you want to put on it, whatever spin you want to put on it, the reality is that you will have to do something. You will have to do something, whether big, small, or medium, that shows the universe, I'm locked in. I care. Okay? Like for example, I cannot say I'm going to win the lottery if I don't have the cash to play the lottery. Right? If I don't buy a ticket, how can I say, oh, I'm going to win the lottery? But there's something you're doing in a 3D, whether in your environment or with your actions or with your money, that shows, or with your finances, right? Like financial management. There's nothing that you're doing at all that's showing the universe, yes, I can handle $1 million. Yes, I can be a multimillionaire. Like, what are you actually doing to show that, yes, I'm serious? Okay? BRP, they change their diet, but then every now and then, you see what I'm saying? The things they're doing with their body, or their sleep routine, you see what I'm saying? Or how they, the stress levels that they're encountering is basically gonna knock out all their progress. So I saw a quote, and you guys can be the judge's quote, but I saw a quote that said one time, the more I work, the luckier I become. And I don't know. I'm going to leave that thought with you guys, you know what I'm saying? Because some people don't like the idea of effort and whatever, but you know what? That's kind of true. You know what I'm saying? Like, the more proactive you are, putting energy into something, it doesn't have to be hard. Doesn't have to be like you're toiling or like you're dying. Just, you're putting forth intention, right? You're putting forth intention. Yes, you do feel luckier. You do feel like, okay, because any other way, it's kind of like you don't really see it. You know what I'm saying? Like most people, they don't really get what they want because they're distracted and they're not proactive. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, people can take that or leave that, but I do think there's some kind of truth to that, you know what I'm saying? Where, like, if you're putting forth, like your vision board and your actions and your thoughts are going towards, this is going to happen for me, and then you're acting as if, and you're changing your environment and you're changing your schedule to bring forth this manifestation, the likelihood of it coming in that way is like 9 out of 10. But then if you're going to be sitting around and all your thoughts are negative, right, and like you're not doing nothing that is showing the universe that you actually want this, then how do you expect it to come in? And that's why it's not coming in for people, because they're not taking it to heart. They're not taking it seriously, right? And when I say the word seriously, don't see it as negative, don't see it as hard, don't see it as difficult, see it as, this is just what you need to do, right? Like, let's say, for example, somebody wants to buy a car. They want to get a new car, but they never go to a car shop. They never go to a car lot. They never look in the newspaper. They never go online. Then how are they going to pick this new car out? How are they going to get this new car? Like, you have to do something. You have to do something that is showing that I want to buy a new car. You see what I'm saying? Like, you have to do something. So don't see action and effort and visualization. Don't see all these things that require energy as negative. See it as necessary. See it as something that is absolutely necessary to bring in this manifestation a lot quicker than you just hoping for it and wishing for it, but you're not actually doing anything about it. Okay? Like, the Bible kind of says, like, faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. And that's a fact. Like, you can have all the faith in the world. You can have all the fucking faith in the world. But if your actions, if your intentions, if your thoughts, if your environment if your behavior, if your choices do not align with anything that you want to manifest, then guess what? It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So I actually care about you guys. I care about myself, most importantly. And whenever things will happen for people, you know what I'm saying, just take a look at their lifestyle and take a look at how they're spending their time, right? If they're spending all their time on other people's business, and they're spending all their time doing things that are not going to contribute to their financial success or their well-being, and then they want to complain and say, oh, well, it hasn't happened. Why is it not happening? It's because it's not happening because of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? It's not happening. It is. Let's do a little reality check. It's not happening because of you, because you're in your own way. And that's not going to sound cute or popular or sugary, but that's the reality. It's a lot of things that people want is not happening because of them, right? Let's say, for example, somebody wants a relationship. Somebody wants a relationship, right? But all their thoughts are about how annoying this certain gender is, or how hard a relationship is, or all they think about is past negative previous experiences. How the hell, right? How the hell is that person gonna manifest somebody who has good intentions and who is nice to them when their mentality is all people suck? You get what I'm saying? Like, your thoughts, right? Okay, your thoughts, your actions, your belief has to align with the manifestation that you want, okay? I could definitely go a little bit deeper, but I'm home now. I'm starving. I got my smoothie, so I need to go drink the smoothie and I need to go do some laundry. But I love you guys. That's the gist of it. So if you're not getting, so long story short, okay? Long story short, if you're not getting what you want quick enough, then what that means is that there's something in your life that you need to remove, that you need to take a second look at. There could be a person, there could be things that you're listening to. It could be your routine. Maybe your routine is not the best routine for the kind of a potential lifestyle or the things you want to manifest, right? So you got to take a closer look at that, and you got to ask yourself, okay, what is the things I could do positively that is going to contribute to me bringing in this manifestation quicker? And once you get humble and you are real yourself and honest, because that's the hardest thing. If you're not willing to look in the mirror, if you're not willing to take some precious time out of your day to really like investigate this like on the real, then the likelihood of what you really want happening is very small. But once you take that me time, you know, that quality time for yourself to write some things down, to type on the computer, to do a vision board, whatever you got to do, when you actually are serious and you take like valuable time to look at your life and look at yourself, I guarantee you things will be better for you. Your life is going to be on the upswing. But until you do that, the likelihood of that happening is very, very low. So for anybody out here, this is really for people out here that are not getting what they want, okay, or you're not getting what you want quick enough, then that means that something has to be changed, okay? Something has been delayed, okay? And it doesn't need to be delayed. It doesn't have to be delayed. But if you're not willing to put forth the action, if you're not willing to make some changes, then how exactly do you expect this to come into your life, okay? How exactly do you expect this to go your way if you're not able to make the necessary changes, okay? So I love you guys. That's just my own opinion. Take it or leave it. But this is something that I've realized that people that, you know, they say one thing, but they do another. And once that happens, you know, you're going to get caught up and you're going to be disappointed. So as long as you're being intentional and serious, like you're being completely serious about what you really want and you're applying yourself, it has to happen. You know, it must happen for you. I'm a living witness of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a living, breathing witness of that. Like, as soon as you take your attention and your good, precious energy away from people and you put it back to yourself, things are going to happen at warp speed. All right. Love you guys. Bye.